Welcome, welcome, one and all, in here, out there, all around the world, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. If you've been watching the news, you know that it has been a terrible week for the people of Los Angeles as devastating wildfires continue raging in and around the city. The footage is truly heartbreaking as thousands of homes are being destroyed and entire neighborhoods are being wiped out. We here with The Late Show, we know so many people, dear friends, who have lost everything in these fires. And our hearts go out to everyone in Los Angeles. And more usefully, in this moment, so do our wallets. If you'd like to give, you can scan this QR code right here to see a list of charities that are on the ground right now addressing the immediate needs of people who have been affected by this tragedy. Now, in times like these, it's hard to know what to do. But it's pretty easy to know what not to do. For instance, the online betting site Polymarket has been accepting wagers on things like how long it will take to contain these fires. Starting a fantasy disaster pool, clearly the wrong way to respond to a tragedy. There's a reason the Hindenburg coverage didn't sound like this.
And it's bursting into flames! Yay, my parlay just hit! Oh, the humanity!
Yesterday, President Biden was in California doing what presidents should do, pledging federal disaster support to a stricken state. And at the press conference, Biden also made a personal announcement.
But the good news is, I'm a great-grandfather as of today. My oldest granddaughter, 10-pound, 4-ounce baby girl, a baby boy.
Congratulations, Mr. President, but I gotta say, there it is, the future the GOP warned us about. Your child starts out as a girl, but by the end of the sentence, she's a boy. You happy, Democrats? This happy occasion makes Joe Biden the first sitting president to become a great-grandfather while in office. And with under 2 weeks left, there's still time for Joe to set more old man presidential records. Most Malto meal consumed at 4 a.m., most rubber bands collected in an old cigar box, first president ever to fall asleep at a picnic and be carried away by ants. He does seem very light, doesn't he? He seems very light. Biden also gave a farewell interview to the #1 newspaper left on the floor of hotel hallways, USA Today. And just in time, because there may be no USA Tomorrow. Biden came out swinging in this interview. When asked, do you believe you could have won in November, Joe replied, I think yes, based on the polling. It was actually a very recent survey of younger voters, specifically one baby girl, baby boy. When the reporter asked a follow-up, do you think you would have had the vigor to serve another 4 years in office, Biden responded, I don't know. Sir, with a life and death job like this, it's kind of important to have a can-do attitude. Throw me the baby! Okay, can you catch him? I don't know. President also left us with a gift on his way out the door because in this interview, he told one heck of a Joe Biden story. I want to brace yourselves, and you should pack a snack, because here we go. Used to be when I was a kid, I was always the guy who was, and I don't mean to sound the wrong way, leader of the pack, the neighbor. We'd build a fort, and I'd say, look, we built this thing, Val gets to come. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Billy Cotswinkle, the guy who wrote that famous, oh God, the book about, it was a bestseller, Inaudible, this one, that one of these. Anyway, when I got elected, he said, he was from Scranton, I knew you were going to make it. You're the only guy in all our neighborhood ever climbed up the flagpole in Maloney Field and sat on the ball on top. That Joe Biden story is the most Joe Biden has ever Joe Biden. A rambling yarn. A rambling yarn boasting about a physical feat that could only have been accomplished by one of the little rascals. Today, President Biden was back in Washington where he gave a moving eulogy at Jimmy Carter's funeral. The ceremony was a beautiful remembrance of a great American. It was also a rare gathering of everyone in the Marvel presidential universe. You got Captain Saxophone, Madam Popular Vote, the Invisible WMD, Mr. Netflix, When We Harley We Quinn, Staredevil, Dr. Dumbass, and Doug. It's a solemn occasion, which is why George W. Bush greeted his presidential successor like this. And belly bonk. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, 44? Yeah, you're lucky there's a funeral, else that would have been a sack tap. Okay? Ting, like there, okay? Down in Texas, we call that clearing the brush. Cutting some mesquite. One touching moment came when Gerald Ford's son read a eulogy written for Jimmy Carter by his father. President Ford actually wrote it many years ago because even though they were political rivals, the two men made a pact to speak at each other's funerals. Carter did that for Ford in 2007, and Ford left behind a written eulogy for Carter before he died, because that's what good friends do. In fact, I have my friend Jon Stewart's eulogy right here. We were all stunned when John passed away in a tragic vegan NutriBullet smoothie accident. Although he lived to be 110 years old, he appeared to be that age for most of his life. There's more, but no spoilers. Of course, just weeks from his inauguration, Trump is laser focused on the one thing that is sure to lower the price of eggs: annexing Greenland. And the world is getting a little worried. In fact, Danish officials fear Trump is more serious about acquiring Greenland than in his first term. They're really nervous. The Danish prime minister even released this statement: Min Gerd, we're so screwed. So screwed. Trump says he's open to using military force, but his first plan is to slap Denmark with a bunch of tariffs, which is not great for us because we buy a surprising amount of stuff from Denmark. For instance, Denmark is the leading supplier to the United States of hearing aids. What? These tariffs are going to hit us hard because Denmark also sells us baked goods, pig meat, and petroleum. But that's the entire menu at Denny's. What? And these tariffs would hit us right in the playroom because Denmark is home to Lego. Oh, sorry, kids. You'll have to play with America's next best toy, your little brother. You know the slogan, come on, just bring him, he looks up to you. With Trump's inauguration fast approaching, the race to kiss his ass is intensifying, especially for Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Over the last few weeks, he has donated $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund, and on Tuesday announced that Meta will end its fact-checking program. But if there's no more fact-checking, how will I know if what I see on Instagram is true? Was Haley's vacation just the reset she needed? Were the spicy margaritas totally lit? And is this really going to be her year of yes? I don't know what to believe anymore. Instead, Meta will rely on a community-driven system similar to X's community notes. No! Do not trust the community. The worst part about social media is other people. They know. Don't believe me? No. Look at this actual Facebook post. NPR posted a fine little story about pandas playing in the snow at the National Zoo. So, of course, somebody commented, daily reminder that the U.S. is sending taxpayer funds to the Taliban weekly. The pandas cannot help you with that, my man. They don't even know how to have sex. We gotta help them with, like, tubes and stuff. In addition to getting rid of the fact-checking, Meta also severely loosened their hateful conduct policy, crossing out formerly banned phrases. So now users can do things like refer to women as household objects or property. No! Wrong, that is horrible. You should never call a woman a household object unless you're using the pickup line, girl, are you a humidifier? Because since you came into my life, fundamental problems that I wasn't even aware of are being corrected. Zuck posted this video to explain the changes.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes.
Okay. Counterpoint, I don't trust a guy with this haircut to reduce mistakes. Jim, put Zuck up right over here, okay? He looks like if your Jewish aunt was Jack Harlow. He looks like a high school guidance counselor who called you into his office to tell you he's getting a divorce. I'd say more, but if I leave this picture up for too long, we have to start paying royalties to Art Garfunkel. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Ben Stiller and June Squibb. And when we come back, I make an appearance in one of my favorite shows. Tune in, YouTube.